These hills in southwest Wales are famed for being the original home of the bluestones that were used to build part of Stonehenge 140 miles away around 4,500 years ago. While Stonehenge is our most famous, there are other, less well-known and less visited prehistoric stone monuments all over the UK. And it's one of these here in Wales that's got my attention today.
Well, this is definitely an adventure, isn't it? Look at this! Oh my word, they've had so many trees down, this is crazy! But we are committed, guys. This is happening, right? I'm not going to drive all the way here, only to be put off by a few fallen trees. It's not going to happen. If I have to pretend that I'm a hobbit, walking through Middle-earth, then so be it.
I am in search of a curious-looking stone megalith called a portal dolmen. The dolmen I'm looking for here in this forest above the River Taff is believed to be Neolithic in origin and possibly even older than Stonehenge itself. It's mostly agreed amongst archaeologists that these structures are what remains of ancient Neolithic burial chambers. Excavations on some dolmens have revealed bones and artefacts going back thousands of years. It's thought by many that, unlike the burial mounds and long barrows that still contain the earth used to cover them here in Britain, dolmens have lost theirs mostly through erosion. But this is still debated. A portal dolmen, otherwise known as a portal tomb or a single-chambered tomb, and here in Wales, a cromlech, consists of a large horizontal capstone sitting on top of two or more vertical stones. The portal part comes from the presence of a door-like gap flanked by two so-called portal stones, allowing access into the dolmen. And not, sadly, because it transports you to another world or time, much to my disappointment. But it's not really the archaeology that's piqued my interest with this dolmen today. It has a very interesting name. The earliest written source I could find for this dolmen dates from 1695, where it is referred to as Gwal y Filiast, and it's widely believed that this roughly translates as Lair of the Greyhound bitch. Another name for it included in this same source is Arthur's Table. The most common name for it, however, is Gwal y Filiast, and this is what is written on my map. Upon first learning the meaning of this name, it conjured up for me images of an oversized, ghostly hound guarding something and using this as its shelter. And considering my hike in, maybe there's some truth in this, and the trees are in on it. And there's a few theories as to why it may be called this. One is that it is in reference to Cerridwen, a witch from a Welsh legend about Taliesin, the 6th century bard. The earliest source we have of this dates from the 16th century. Cerridwen, a powerful enchantress, brewed a potion of wisdom for her son Morfran, who was hideously ugly. She tasked a boy named Gwal y with stirring the cauldron when 3 drops of this potion accidentally splashed onto Gwal's finger. He instinctively licked them and gained immense knowledge. The poor lad, realising Cerridwen would be furious, ran away. The witch, enraged, shapeshifted into various forms to pursue him, including a greyhound. Gwal himself transformed to escape, first into a hare, then a fish, a bird, and finally a grain of wheat or corn, depending on which version you read. She finally caught him and swallowed him. However, the weirdness doesn't stop there. Ceridwen then became pregnant and gave birth to a baby boy who she knew was Gwion. She planned to kill him. However, when he was born, he was so beautiful that she couldn't do it. Instead, she put him in the sea in a leather bag, and he was found and grew up to become the famous bard Taliesin. Another theory that I found connects the name to the early Arthurian tale Cilwch and Olwen. This legend is found in the Mabinogion, and the earliest complete manuscript we have for this dates to around 1400. However, there is an earlier fragmented manuscript dated to the 12th century. Cilwch and Olwen is a Welsh legend in which Cilwch, cursed by his stepmother to love no one but the giant's daughter Olwen, seeks the help of his cousin King Arthur to win her hand. To prevent the marriage, Olwen's father, the giant Ysbyddaden, sets them 40 near impossible challenging tasks, including capturing the 2 pups belonging to a menacing she-wolf. This is to aid in the hunt of a notorious wild boar. It's been put forward that Gwal y Filiast should be translated as Lair of the she-wolf, linking this site to the legend and suggesting it marks a location significant to the tale. And Gwal y Filiast is not alone. Other prehistoric sites in the area also have links to Arthurian legend. It's also been suggested that perhaps the early Christians repurposed pagan sites like Gwal y Filiast by converting them into kennels for their dogs. The more one digs, the more theories are found, yet no one really knows for certain why this dolmen has the name it does. But in the peace of these woods, my mind turns away from menacing canines and transports me elsewhere.
I'm not going to lie, I kind of feel like I'm in some kind of fantasy film or something. It's exactly what it feels like, in the forest with the sun rays coming through the trees, and it just feels like it's some kind of little shelter that somebody lives in, you know, in the middle of the forest, that people go and visit. It's kind of got that feel about it. Oh, that's really cool.
The rocks that make up this dolmen are not the only rocks on this site, so I take a little look around.
And there's this other stone here. I don't know whether that is just naturally there or whether that was also part of it at some point. And then there's one over here as well that I completely missed when I came in because I was too busy looking at the actual dolmen. But yeah, that's obviously been used as a gatepost at some point, but I mean, it's literally in the middle of is that a tree stump? No, it's a wall. So yeah, it's got like a wall built around it, I think. Is that a wall? Yeah, that's stone. How interesting. And then I guess that might be the remainder of a stone wall as well. But yeah, that standing stone, I don't know if that was erected at a later date or whether that actually is originally part of this site.
I really hope I'm not the only one at this moment thinking, well, maybe the person that lived in the shelter in the woods built it. Maybe it was their wall. Or maybe I've just been reading too many fantasy books.
And then there's another stone down here. But again, this area, we're in the Preseli Hills, or not far from the Preseli Hills, and there's these stones everywhere. And I think most of them are actually blue stones. A type of bluestone, because of course the Preselis is where the stones came from for Stonehenge. Well, some of the stones, the blue stones, are Stonehenge. Various different sites in the Preseli Hills. But if you look here, you can see there's a bunch of stones. And it's difficult to tell whether these are originally part of this site or just naturally there. There's a face on that one. I mean, I think these stones are possibly here originally anyway, but hello. How are you? You alright? Just hanging out there? Having a good life by the looks of it? Oh, it's brilliant.
Before saying my final farewells to this special place steeped in mystery and a history mostly lost to time, I take a moment to enjoy the stillness of these woods and to gaze upon the rays of the early morning sun filtering through the trees, which never gets old. Thank you all so much for watching, and to all those who have subscribed and who regularly engage with my videos. You're all awesome and I appreciate you so much. If you're new here and you've enjoyed this video, my name is Jen and I'd love for you to join me on my journey as I continue exploring the old and the wild places of the UK. Please consider subscribing and engaging with my videos. Come say hi in the comments and I will see you all next time.